everyone, this is Philip with TDR Auto. Today I'm working on 2019 Ram 2500. We got P2002 particulate filter efficiency below threshold. So I'm basically gonna remove the diesel particulate filter and inspect it. I worked on this car a couple of weeks ago. It had the same code, but it also had a code for a temperature sensor circuit, high or open, I don't remember exactly. And I ended up replacing the temperature sensor and do diesel particulate filter regeneration. Then I test drove it for like 50 miles and it was okay, no codes. But obviously something wrong inside the filter because it came up with this code just a few days ago. You can see I got the filter here, the new one. Comes with this gasket. So all I had to get was the gasket for the front. So this will be the diesel oxidation catalyst, and this is the diesel particulate filter right over here. It's got a pressure sensors in front of it and behind it, so it compares the pressure from the front of it and behind. Then it's got a couple temperature sensors in front of it and behind. So hopefully they will come out okay. A lot of times they get seized up. My plan is to remove the SCR catalyst. That's right behind it. This is actually not that hard to remove. It's just one clamp over here. I mean, one particulate matter sensor and NOx sensor. And then we have another temperature sensor right on top here. And I think there might be one more. Yeah, there's one more over there. And then all the modules for those sensors are right on top of the SCR. So we're gonna have to disconnect that.
These rubber exhaust hangers are pretty tight, so it helps to spray them with a penetrant or silicone lube. The rear exhaust clamp needs to be loose enough so you can wiggle the rear exhaust out. This diesel exhaust fluid injector, the line, you can see just press one tab on one side.
Alright, so now you can see this bolt you don't have to remove, just loose. And this one as well, see that? You just lose two bolts and it slides off. Now we got 4 16mm bolts. The 2019 model is harder for sure. Up to 2018 is much easier. More room, just easier to do everything. Unfortunately, they keep changing things for the worse. I kind of removed the rear mounts already, as you can see. The rubber mount on both sides. So now I gotta support the SCR catalyst with the jack. Here we go. Now I can actually see the wiring. If you get skinny hands, you can actually remove the wiring without taking the catalyst down. But since I'm taking the catalyst down anyway, this is much easier. Small screwdriver to pop this guy out. There we go. So one more time, you can see this one has a yellow tab that you need to pull and then slide out, and this guy is just a regular tab that you need to press and slide out. And this baby is somewhat heavier than the previous years too. The previous years I was able to slide it out by hand and install it by hand. This one is just better, easier to do it with the jack. Here we go. This is the SCR catalyst. This is the decomposition tube. This is to improve the diesel exhaust fluid spreading evenly. And I can actually see a little bit of damage inside. The honeycombs, you can see some face plugging. So I'm gonna have to recommend replacing this SCR catalyst as well. But you can see the diesel particulate filter is severely damaged. There are some big holes inside. Wonder what happened there. Wonder if the customer at one point put maybe a gas in the diesel tank or something, because yeah, you don't see this often. Let me know in the comment what do you think happened. That's my best guess, that the diesel was contaminated with either gas or some other stuff. Now look at these retards, how they build these cars. Look where they put the clamp. How in the world are you supposed to get it out? And I'm gonna spend half an hour removing this rusty clamp because they couldn't situate it the other way, so I can put a socket in there, an air gun. Man, this thing is seized up in there. Oh, I'm gonna probably have to cut it off and order a new clamp. Don't forget the temperature sensor, like I just did.
gonna transfer all the parts over from the old DPF to the new. We're gonna make sure the electrode on the temperature sensor is okay, it's not burnt. I'll put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. So it's a little easier to remove it next time. Unfortunately, that gasket is like glued in there. It's like it's gonna be pretty hard to take the gasket off. It's like it's been there thousands of years. Gasket. This is a pretty hard gasket to put on thanks to these tabs. They're meant to keep the gasket in place when you're installing the filter. I'll try to bend them a little bit. Looks good. Plug in the temperature sensors while it's a little bit lower, so it's a little easier. I'm gonna put the rubber hangers back inside. I will use silicone spray so they go more easy. Using brand new clamp. And I'm gonna put an anti-seize on. Yeah, and I'm going to flip this clamp so that the bolt is facing down, not up. So next time somebody have very easy way of reaching the bolt actually. I I should have put the clamp in first on that DPF filter, because now it's a little more difficult to put it in. Basically don't have much room in it to put in, so I might need to like open the clamp a little bit. And there you go, that's gonna work. Now I can put the other hanger. The gasket sits exactly in the middle all around. This gasket is a pain in the butt to replace when the filter and everything is in place. It's really hard. Much easier when the DPF is out. Alright. So the bolt first. I'm going to put some anti-seize on it too, so it lasts a little longer. Alright, so the washer goes first, then the sleeve. And as long as it's not going to touch anything, we'll be good. Look at that, a little easier, huh?
I got the DPF all in. Now we're gonna put this SCR catalyst back in. I'm just gonna lift it up enough to connect the electrical connectors, because they're quite hard to reach. The previous model years, up to 2018, it was so much easier to replace the catalyst and the DPF. It's like these canisters are bigger with less space. All right. Yeah, like I said, if the plastic clips are broken, use a zip tie. It's always better if the wiring is routed properly, so it doesn't have any problems down the road. The rear hangers. I can get this jack out of here. And we're gonna be pretty much done. Just gotta put that rear exhaust pipe back in. Put this diesel exhaust fluid line back in until it clicks. The electrical connector back in. After we're all done, we're gonna have to use our Y-Tech scan tool and do that diesel particulate filter replacement routine, so it resets all the accumulated data in the computer. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and if you have any questions, comment, or if you have some shortcuts, some good ideas that can help other people, let them in the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you. bit more. See if I can squeeze some anti-seize inside on the thread.
All right, now I'm just gonna check, delete all the codes. Particulate filter efficiency below threshold, so we're gonna clear those out. Okay, now I will go to PCM, miscellaneous functions, and find my DPF. Here we go. DPF replacement. Yeah, so that will reset all the suit load estimates. Cycle ignition for 10 seconds. Yeah, so this truck has 46,000 miles. So yeah, something was definitely wrong with the diesel. Alright, that should be 10 seconds. And let's check, make sure the codes are still off. And just for giggles, I'm gonna check in data exhaust gas temperature sensors. I want to see same value on all the temperature sensors. Okay, so I got 20 degree. Oh, I still have it. Sometimes I have to put a scan tool in so it reads Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. So right now it's in Celsius, so 22 degrees, 19, 19, 21. So they all read the same. And 20 degrees. Okay. Few degrees within each other. That's what we want when the engine's cold. High suit load estimate. It still shows pretty high. 4 grams is quite high, especially for a brand new DPF. So we just need to drive it, and the PCM will make new estimates as we drive. What I like about the 2019 and up, that you have the DPF information you have in the cluster, so that's really nice. Yeah, if you go to vehicle info, where you have your tire pressures, temperatures, then you have the DPF value. So we're gonna drive it, and it should go to 0. And I highly recommend using additives like antifreeze, anti-gel for colder temperatures, like let's say below 10 Fahrenheit. Then I would definitely be using antifreeze, some kind, in the diesel fuel. Some of them might have already cetane booster in it, because a lot of gas stations, a lot of them have pretty shitty fuel most of the time. It's not a bad idea to find a gas station near you that frequently have trucks going through it, because usually the truckers, they know where the good fuel is.